that's a match penalty? I think he was fired up. I think he was trying to stand up for not only himself, but his team when it was a chippy hockey game. They end up getting a goal out of it and go up 4-1, but now you got to play without him. That's the consequences. And time and place matters to me. I'm okay with those consequences in game 1 of the season on your home ice. I'm not okay with that in a playoff series or a playoff push. I think that matters as we talk to people about this.
Yeah, but this is Gary Bettman's NHL, so Larkin's likely to get suspended because that's what they do.
I heard Birchie Kid, Birchfield on the intermission last night. He speculated, he's a big hockey guy.
Yes, he is.
3 to 5 games for Larkin was his guess. We'll find out. 3 to 5 games, and that's still penalty for your number 1 center.
Yeah, certainly.
So take a text, we'll get right back to the phones. 248-539-9797. This one said, Gator, you do something by checking that guy. The guy suckered him into leaving the game. Stupid. Rookie move. The Wings lost because Larkin was gone. That's the move.
Well, Lou, I understand what you're saying, and I think both Jim and I would agree if this were a game down the stretch where you needed it towards the playoff push, or if you were in the playoffs, you'd have to show more restraint. This is the first game of the season. It doesn't bother me at all. And I think that it's something that you learn from, I guess, if you want it that way. But I'm proud he stood up for himself.
Ticket Texture says, look, I'm not a big Larkin guy, and that was a perfect example why he shouldn't be the captain of this team. He put himself ahead of the team. I hate the excuse because of what Jamie Benn did to him last season on a cross-check. That's Sam in GR.
Well, I guess would you rather that somebody else jumped in his stead and then they got the penalty for it? Although I suppose here's what's weird. Dylan Larkin takes matters in his own hands, throws a punch at the guy, he gets a match penalty for it. If Tyler Bertuzzi gets skated over and cross-checked Joseph and then they drop the gloves and fight, he'd probably get 2 minutes for roughing and then 5 minutes for fighting, and that's it. There's no match penalty to it. But because the guy defends himself, he gets the match penalty. It's weird how that works out.
Let's get to Nicholas. Nicholas in Detroit, you're on Carson Anderson. You're on 97.1 The Ticket.
I appreciate it, guys. I want to say a few things here. First of all, I think the refs were on Tampa money line because that was a BS call. Second of all, I love that Larkin stood up for the team, and Bart from wherever he was from can F off because he stood up for this young team, and this young team needs a captain like that. We're not going to get pushed around like you said, Jim. Inside our own barn, this team, we need some heart, we need character, and he put on the pedal. Game 1, we're not going to take any crap. He's going to stick up for his boys, and I think Raymond and Seider see that, and that's the captain we need.
Both those guys had assists last night, too, by the way.
Seider
Iserman draft
too.
picks. Yeah, a pair of them. That's the thing people have been waiting for. Iserman draft picks skating for this hockey team.
Well, we talked a little bit about it yesterday and the day before about where was the excitement. Doug was more of a Raymond guy, and I said, don't discount the big defenseman. This town loves a big defenseman. They've been wanting a big defenseman for forever, and Seider was throwing his weight around. Seider wants to stick his nose into it. I think Seider's going to end up being a fan favorite. Not that Raymond won't, because Raymond's got the huge upside of being this offensive, stalwart. So we'll see how it shakes out. But the first game, long the ball, but Seider thought it had the better showing.
Paul and Shelby, you're on Carson Anderson. Paul, what do you got?
How you doing, boys? Love the show. You're going to be a great addition to the 97 team. I just got to say, I'm not comparing the hit with the head. That was a real cheap shot, but I think the way Dylan Larkin responded was not great. And it was bad look to the hockey player. I played hockey my whole life. That doesn't really qualify me for anything, but punching someone with a glove on the face is a big no-no. Kind of akin to what the Browns lineman and smacked Mason Rudolph.
Myles Garrett?
That Myles Garrett. It's just like, you hear what you're saying here, he couldn't defend himself, but it's just kind of like a big no-no, and I think that if he would have done himself in a different manner, I think I'd be more supportive of it. I also don't think it helps that you look at the captains that he's following, that's like a pretty good lineage of like solid, cool, under pressure leaders to kind of compare that to rightness and recent past. I don't think helps.
Well, maybe not. I see where you're coming from there, but I guess from the standpoint of Dylan Larkin, if you got hit in that situation and then you see the guy and he starts to skate away from you and you've got a chance to take care of it right then and there, is it a better look to throw the punch there with your glove on, or is it a better look to skate after the guy, chase him around the ice and try to in front of him, because that's what he would have had to do.
Well, and Gator, you mentioned all the captains. They line up, all 10 of them, right the last, and there's a cool ceremony before the game. Look, most of those guys played in an era where you had a couple goofs on the team that would do this for you. That's not really part of hockey anymore. There's not a Probert on this hockey team, right? There's not a McCarty or a Draper on this hockey team. So, no. But I mean, like the gritty players, they don't have a grind line. So what are you going to do? Are you going to stand up for yourself? Or are you going to say, well, Tampa's just a better team. They're going to work us like a 9-to-5 today. You got to make that call in that moment.
Well, you can look. There's two sides of the coin. When it comes to leadership, is the leadership the one where it says, okay, you be cool, calm, collected. You take the number and you think about it later, or do you handle your business and defend yourself and stick up for yourself, and you show that example to the rest of the team? They've gotten some guys like Tyler Bertuzzi. He's a gritty guy. He could do something if he wanted to, but the fact that Larkin did it himself, and because he's the captain, I think it makes a bigger statement to the team.
Carries a little more weight.
I think so.
248-539-9797. Red Wings opening thoughts on this hockey team. Can they grab the attention of Detroit? At least for a night they did. It's Carson Anderson, 97.1.
Become a weekend warrior at BetMGM. King of the Weekend is a free-to-play challenge where you can win up to $50,000 for correctly picking the highest-scoring pro football teams during the weekend. Simply log into your BetMGM account and find the King of the Weekend contest in your promotion section. Then pick 6 teams that you think will score the most points from the selected games. $1,000 will go to the top entry each week. And if you guess all 6 in the right order, the grand prize of $50,000 could be yours. Plus, hundreds of dollars in free bets will be awarded to players who come close to the perfect score. Go to your account and try King of the Weekend free-to-play game. If you're a BetMGM, download the app today and make weekend football even better. Only at BetMGM, the king of sports books. And don't forget, we got a variety of other sports that you can get in on action every single day. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older, Michigan only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Companies. If you thought you missed your chance to refinance and save, think again. Mortgage rates have recently dropped below 3%, and Rocket Mortgage can help you save big. You could lower your monthly payment and prepare yourself for a better financial future, but you've got to act now. Call us today at 833-8ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Conditions apply. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states at MLSConsumerAccess.org, number 33.
When you run a business, setbacks change everything. And online, they happen fast. With your Comcast Business Internet, you can stay ahead. And now you can add Comcast Business Security Edge to make your network more secure. It helps keep your network safe with scans every 10 minutes. And unlike some cybersecurity options, this helps protect every device that's connected. Because when your information, your people, and your company have Security Edge, you can be ready for what's next. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with a great offer for $35 each month for 24 months for 2 years when you buy both. Want even more speed? Find out how to get 10 gigs for your small business. Call 1-800-501-6000 or go to ComcastBusiness.com today to find out more. Offer ends 11/7/21. Restrictions apply. New Comcast Business 35 megabits per second internet and one voice mobility customers only. Early termination fee applies. Requires EcoBill and AutoPay. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. Security Edge not included.
Introducing Fidelity Income Planning. You look at how much you've saved, how much you'll need, and help you build a straightforward plan to generate income, even when you're not working. A plan that gives you the chance to grow your savings and create cash flow that lasts. Plus, you can start, stop, or adjust your plan at any time. Talk to us today so we can help you go from saving to living. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE, SIPC.
So a friend told me about Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, and his exact words were, "It changed my life." I used to spend a ridiculous amount of time trying to remove tomato sauce from inside our microwave and soap scum off the bathtub. It's like seriously magic, and my secret weapon for cleaning the kitchen, bathroom, doors and walls, and even keeping my sneakers clean. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, greatest invention ever. Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, the unicorn of cleaning.
This hour of instant feedback brought to you by Mike Papuro of National Benefit Plans. For affordable health insurance, log on to nbphealth.com.
7:47. Jim Costa in for Doug Karsh. It's Karsh and Anderson. Can they grab the attention of Detroit? At least for a night, the Red Wings did. Right, that was a game where people were buzzing about.
Yep.
Sold out crowd, on their feet crowd, dramatic hockey game, emotional flashpoint right in the center of it with the captain of the hockey team. I mean, welcome back, Red Wings hockey.
Yeah.
Question is, can they grab the attention long term? Can they keep people? Like, I think the Tigers this season, a good example of a team that didn't make the playoffs, but turned some heads, maybe turned a corner. Can the Wings be that team this season?
Well, the Tigers did it with their play on the field. The fans didn't necessarily respond by putting butts in the seats.
Right.
All right, that's a difference. Now, with the Red Wings, last night, sellout crowd, right? We haven't seen much of that in LCA. Even on if it was ever called opening night of LCA, it wasn't necessarily like that when they opened it a few years ago. Can they sustain this at all? Maybe. I'd say if they're going to score 6 goals a night, fans are going to want to come watch the team. This is exciting. But that's not realistic.
No.
And I suspect we're going to see smaller crowds moving forward. But they're entertaining. If they can be entertaining like the Tigers were, you'll see decent crowds there. You may not see 20,000 people there, but you might see 15,000 people, and it looks a hell of a lot better than 8,000.
I think people are dying for a resurgence. Yeah. For one of our teams, but I think the Red Wings for a generation of people, that's a consistent winner they grew up with. There was a constant in this city that the Red Wings would be playing great hockey. People are dying to have that back.
That arena downtown is going to be fun to watch this year because of both the Red Wings and the Pistons. Now, with the Pistons with Cade Cunningham, there's more than a curiosity factor. There's an expectation. And to build off what they did last year before they got Cade Cunningham, I think people are going to come out and support that team. And now this hockey team got a couple of rookies to root for. There's a new goaltender to take a look at. And, hey, they scored Tyler Bertuzzi had 4 goals in the first game. That's ridiculous. So there's going to be a curiosity factor about that as well. I suspect that when all is said and done, if you look at the attendance figures between both teams, I think the Pistons might draw better than the Red Wings when all is said and done this year. But both teams moving in the right direction is a good sign. It would have been so much better if the Red Wings were able to hold off and win that game 6-5 last night, or win it in overtime 7-6. It wasn't the case. They got the point, and we'll move on to the next game's after.
Ticket texters saying they lost that game due to letting the moment and emotions take over. That's okay for a young team. They'll mature. They'll handle Tampa better for it. They already have my attention like the Tigers do. Other one says the sucker punch from Larkin was a boneheaded play. Just fight the guy. Take the fighting major instead of the match penalty. The Wings need him on the ice.
I don't know if he was expecting to get a match penalty for everybody.
And then this one says the biggest thing I took from the Red Wings game yesterday, Raymond Insider didn't look out of place against the defending back-to-back Cup champions.
Now, you talk about keeping emotions in check. It's interesting what the Red Wings were trying. The Red Wings were basically trying to hang on from the third period. And once it went to 6-4, they're trying to hang on because Tampa's making this really comeback. The emotional side of Tampa was impressive to watch. After that Larkin situation, watching John Cooper just light up the officiating and did it for like 10 straight minutes. He got his team inspired. His team came out and responded. And because that is a Stanley Cup championship team, not once but twice, they know what it takes to win games like this when you've got another team outmatched, and that's what happened. And that's a learning experience for this Red Wing team as well. That, okay, we need to be more like this team over here. We have to take care of our business, put things in the rearview mirror. Hey, yeah, we give them 6 goals, whatever. We're going to come back, and that's exactly what Tampa did.
Guys, do we have a new rivalry here? Is something growing?
I think so. And
because we talked to Jimmy and we was at the game last night, and for those that missed it, why don't you tell them what happened when they were doing the captain ceremony?
Yeah, before the game, they had all the former captains, the living captains were out there on the ice, and it was great. The crowd was loving it. You watched it on TV, got to see it. And towards the end of it, I saw at one point, it looked like Stamkos skating faintly in the background on the left side of the TV set. And shortly after that, you heard the crowd booing as, they're bringing out Zetterberg and Lindstrom. And I thought, well, this is interesting. And then here, come to find out that as that ceremony was going on, at some point, the Lightning players said, you know what? I need to get a little warm-up skating. It's going a little too long. And the entire team starts skating on the ice while the Red Wings are doing this coronation for the captain. And the Red Wing players are all on their bench. So that's complete disrespect by the Tampa Bay Lightning shown before the game even began. This is interesting because the two head coaches of the teams are best friends. And yet there's this amazing disrespect that comes from the Tampa Bay side to come out and skate on the ice while the ceremony's going on. And then you have what happened in the game with not one but two hits from behind, two dirty hits from Tampa Bay.
And also the Yzerman factor. I mean, the Lightning.
Well, right. Yeah, the former GM. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to connect there. And yeah, frankly, I'll say this. I hope it becomes a rivalry because we love a good rivalry here in Detroit. Well, and this is a good one to have.
And to have a rivalry means you got to win every once in a while. And if you start winning every other or you're competitive with this team most nights, yeah, that's also part of a rivalry.
Which has been kind of tough with Tampa Bay the last several years.
But that's what I'm saying. They're the gold standard. Yeah. If you're their rival, you've taken some strides as a hockey team. There's no doubt about it. Let's go back to the phones. 248-539-9797. Kevin and Macomb, you're on 97.1 The Ticket.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. Glad to hear you on the radio station with Gator.
Appreciate it.
Good to hear you. So with Larkin, I do like the fire. But the bottom line is the guy gets paid to score goals and engineer great passes and set up goals. The last thing I want to hear is Larkin breaking his hand and then Paul Wood all season giving that as the excuse as to why he hasn't had a good year. I mean, we need Larkin this year. I'm expecting a big year out of him this year, especially after last season. And I disagree with you about how saying Bob Colbert's irreplaceable, but Giovanni Smith was looking to fight someone a lot last night, and I don't understand why you just don't have someone like him who gets paid to fight people.
Well, first of all, and you're right. Giovanni Smith tried to fight last night on a couple occasions. The NHL doesn't want that to happen. They jumped in every opportunity there was some fisticuffs to happen. But I would remind you of this. Steve Yzerman, who we regard as the greatest captain of our lives, because we didn't get to see Gordie Howe play, but Steve Yzerman, everyone refers to him as the captain. Great Steve Yzerman. You know what he did? He stood up for himself a lot. Okay? I remember as a kid listening to a game in the car, driving around, and they were describing Steve Yzerman in a fight. I think it was against Buffalo of all team, way back in the mid-'80s. And he stood up for himself. And he had other guys along with him. If Proby wanted to go at it, Joe Kocur wanted to go at it, sure, those guys were there. But Yzerman he didn't shy away from that stuff either. I'd love to hear Steve Yzerman's opinion on what he saw last night from Dylan Larkin. I'm sure diplomatically, he would probably say, well, he's got to be calmer and that. And then somebody reminds him, well, Stevie, you kind of let it fly a little bit on the ice there, too. He might get a smile on his face and then tell you privately, I loved it. But I don't know. I'd love to hear what he had to say about it.
It'd be fascinating. And to the callers, his role is not to be Joey Kocur. I don't think he's going to be. If he is, this is a very different conversation. If he's every other game dropping the gloves, then yeah, we need to have a conversation about Dylan Larkin's role and what's best for this hockey team. But on opening night, I think it's a different conversation.
It's also different because of who hit him. This wasn't, Maroon is like the big guy for Tampa who will rough it up. It wasn't him. It was Joseph. So if it was one of the bigger guys that took him out, I think it'd be pretty safe to say that Tyler Bertuzzi or Giovanni Smith would be after that guy. But instead, because it's a like-minded player, if you will, or a like-sized player, that let him handle it himself.
Mike on a cell. Mike, you're on Carson Anderson. You're on 97.1 The Ticket.
Hey, guys. I just want to concur with what you guys said. That was the most fun I've had watching a hockey game in years. I've kind of gotten away from it because of the situations over the last 5 years. I was on my edge of my seat, jumping up and down. It was fun. But I have to concur with what most people are saying about Dylan Larkin. If the object is to win the game, then he was at fault.
Mike, can I ask you a question? With or without Larkin, should you be able to hold on to a 3-goal lead in the third period? I agree they're better with him, but let's not put it all on.
Not against Tampa Bay. You cannot put them on the power play, and you need everybody. They are the best team there.
You do, but wouldn't you say that the odds are in the favor of holding a 3-goal lead on Tampa in the third? Yes, but are the odds in your favor that you're going to be able to hold on? You should be able to hold on to. That's all.
They didn't give up a bad goal. Every goal I saw for the Wings was not a bad goal. I thought that goalie played really well last night. Tampa Bay is just that good. You cannot put them on the power play.
Well, you can't put them on the power play, that's for sure. But when things happen to the third period, when they happen to the third period, that's not Larkin.
Wait
He's
a
out of the
second.
game.
Third period, they have a 3-goal lead.
Larkin is the best guy on that, or supposed to be the best
The
guy
best
on that.
two-way center, your number one guy. Yes, the point is well made. You are better with him than without him.
Sure, he's a great penalty.
You're up 6-3. Period's halfway over. Should you win the hockey game? Yes, you should win the hockey game. 248-539-9797. We're going to take a few more on this, and then we are on a Football Friday. There's a lot of football I want to talk about today with Michigan State. The Indiana game is just that classic trap game. The Michigan Wolverines, they have a big question on their bye week. We will get to that later in the show. Keep things rolling. It's Karsch and Anderson, 97.1.
Now available curbside, carryout, or delivery, Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Visit tropicalsmoothiecafe.com and order the new Strawberry Chia Lemonade Smoothie, bursting with fresh flavors. About the Green Goddess Flatbread, all the ways you can choose your protein, which include chicken, shrimp, or a plant-based protein. Go fresh for fall with the new Strawberry Chia Lemonade Smoothie and Green Goddess Flatbreads. Make every day a getaway with the bold flavors and better for your pairings. Only at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Tropical Smoothie Cafe brings the goodness with fresh, made-to-order smoothies and food. Add more good vibes to your smoothie with fresh add-ins like almonds, spinach, and kale, chia seeds or ginger, or supplements like Fat Burner and Energizer. If you want to skip the line, do what I do. Order ahead using the app, take the scenic route, and earn rewards with the Tropical Smoothie Cafe app. Download it today, and every once in a while, your meal's free. You build up those points. Tropical Smoothie Cafe, you're on Tropic Time now. Visit tropicalsmoothiecafe.com to find a cafe near you.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. If you haven't refinanced your mortgage in 2021, you need to call Hall Financial right now to see if you qualify for the no appraisal 8-day close. 866-CALL-HALL, or you can chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. This Sunday, 4 early games and 2 later kickoffs have piqued my interest, starting with the Chargers and Ravens in a battle of 4-1 AFC division leaders, and a showcase for 2 of the most exciting young quarterbacks in the game. That would be Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson, of course. I'll also be focused on the NFC North. Green Bay visits Chicago to renew pro football's oldest rivalry, while up and down Minnesota travels to Carolina and Sam Darnold, and Detroit hosts Cincinnati. I can envision Dan Campbell's winless Lions finally getting off the schneid in one of my upset specials. In the other, look for Arizona to maintain its perfect record. Cardinals take on Cleveland, where Oklahoma Heisman winners Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield will go head-to-head. Meantime, Derek Carr leads the suddenly ruthless Raiders into Denver for a critical AFC West clash. And oh, by the way, we'll see you Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern on the NFL Today. Remember, we have Miami and Jacksonville in London. See you there on CBS. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Come on, one more rep. You got this. 10. There it is. Nice work, man. You're a beast.
Thanks, man. I feel better than I have in years. And I gotta tell you, taking Nugenix makes a huge difference for me.
Nugenix? That's the testosterone booster with TV ads with Frank Thomas. The big hurt, right?
Oh yeah, this is a legit product. The key ingredient is Testofen, which helps boost free testosterone levels and increase lean muscle mass.
Well, it's clearly working for you. Hey, are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try for themselves?
Yeah, Nugenix is a great way to increase lean muscle and feel stronger with more energy and endurance.
Man, I need to get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix.
No problem. You just got to send them a text. Text FORCE to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Nugenix samples are not available in stores, so text FORCE to 42424 right now. Text FORCE to 42424. That's FORCE to 42424.
Want to bet? Barstool Sportsbook at Greektown Casino Hotel is open, and the Barstool Sportsbook app is live. Greektown and Barstool are your ticket to all the action and real-time odds with 40 24-hour betting kiosks, a live walk-up window, and now the Barstool Sportsbook app. Placing your bets at the casino or at home has never been easier. Get in on all the action and earn My Choice rewards with every bet. It's all here at the Barstool Sportsbook at Greektown Casino Hotel and the Barstool Sportsbook app. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
Sounds of a game.
There's the snap, spot down, kick on the way. It is up and it is good. And once again, the Lions will walk off the field heartbroken.
Sounds of the game brought to you by Bill Brown Ford.
Hi, it's Matt
Joe here from Bill Brown Ford in Livonia. Our dealership is the fastest way to get your new Ford in 2021. With inventory arriving daily, you can drive away today in your new vehicle at Bill Brown Ford. Visit us online at BillBrownFord.com. Bill Brown Ford, new adventures beginning daily.
Have you experienced basement leaks? Water is more than annoying. It can cause damage to your home and foundation. It starts at your roofline and can collect around your home, causing a mess in your basement or crawl space. Call Foundation Systems of Michigan. We are experts in managing water around your home. From gutters to waterproofing solutions, we have a full line of products to put an end to your water problems for good.
97 won the ticket and the Bet 1270. Your homes for the NFL on Westwood One. The Pittsburgh Steelers host the Seattle Seahawks. Sunday Night Football. Pre-game at 7:30 on the Bet 1270. Detroit.
Listen, it's Friday. It's football season. We're not going to do 4 hours of Red Wing talk.
What?
I'm sorry, Gator.
Right.
You were giddy before last night's game, and in terms of entertainment, I think it lived up to the hype.
Oh, it lived up to the hype. It did.
Do you want to get into some Lions?
Was there hype? I'm just the opener, basically.
Oh, it was the opener. I mean, it was from what we hyped it up a little bit yesterday. I was excited. The hype, I guess, that I created myself because I was excited to see
finally
play.
Right, yeah, and get them on the ice. And I just want to bring up real quick because I brought up the question: is this a rivalry brewing possibly?
Mm-hmm.
If I read the schedule correctly, and I think a ticket texter sent in the same thought as me, is do they not play each other until March again?
How is that possible?
That would suck. Change that. Can we flex this game earlier? Or how's this work?
You have to make a switch there with the league. Lions Bengals this weekend. I was listening to you and Doug talk about this matchup during the week. I want to get into a little bit of Lions football. Within the next hour, Michigan State. The big bye week question for the Wolverines and the concern level. Is it a trap for the Spartans playing the Hoosiers? Let's get back to the phones. We've got Jeff on the cell. Jeff, you're on 97.1.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey there.
What's going on?
Yeah, you guys. I was actually calling on the Larson.
Yeah, go for it.
I know you guys. All right. I feel that Larson, that hit. I'm down in Alabama working, not for vacation, that's for sure. But I feel like that hit was bad. But I feel like I've been hit harder in beer league, and I think what he did was cheap, and that's not the way I think a captain needs to handle it. I'm not a big Larkin fan. I know that'll be unpopular, but I think as a captain, you need to respond with either come back with a goal or a good clean hit, and I think it's up to the other guys that might be. I know they don't have many fighters, but I just feel like that it's not crazy hit on him, and I just feel like on his part that was bad. The captain should know better. He's out of the game. Stamkos scored twice on his penalty.
Well, it's a borderline boarding penalty, which could have been called and wasn't called. You could argue that it should have been a boarding call. Take into consideration his recent past where he missed all that time rehabbing from the injury after he got cross-checked in the neck, and that's basically the area that he was being targeted from Joseph last night of that hit.
9 times out of 10, I agree with that call and a lot of what we've been getting today. 9 times out of 10, I don't want my captain missing the second half of a hockey game. But in the opener, and you're trying to set the tone as the captain, showing your young hockey team that you've got their back, that you're going to fight tooth and nail. I think that's worthy of a statement for a team that's not making the playoffs this year. I don't want to say that too loud, but I think we all know it. They're not making the playoffs this year. So it's a Gator, I'm sorry. It's about setting the tone this year.
You're really on one.
So I think in a year where you're going to miss the playoffs, I care more about that stuff, about how you're winning over your teammates and how you're going toe-to-toe with Tampa Bay. And you shouldn't lose a game where you have a 3-goal lead in the third period. There's like 7 minutes to go. Larkin or no Larkin, don't lose the hockey game.
How's this for a big what if?
Yeah.
What if Tyler Bertuzzi on that breakaway with 7 minutes left to go in the game? What if he scores his 5th goal of the game at that point, and it would put the Red Wings up 7-3? I mean,
but Gator, Tampa's offense is pretty good.
Well, they are. They're really, well, of course, they're Tampa. They're really good. I just wonder if that would have been such a demoralizing shot if he had scored the 5th goal in the game. and put the Red Wings up. Well, it would have been a 4-goal lead at that point. I think then you could say good night with this game. And yet, after he missed that, it took all of 37 seconds for Tampa to score and make it 6-4. I mean, that's a turning point.
And they answered a bunch, like real quick, timely-wise. Like even when the Wings got up 3-0, it was instantaneous that Tampa put the puck in the net. Gator, you and Doug have been talking about this Lions-Bengals game. I think you think they've got a pretty good shot this weekend.
We both said yesterday we think they're going to win, and I think they have a really good shot of it. Obviously, I wouldn't say this just out of let's be Mr. Homer out here drinking the Kool-Aid and
no, they're 0-5 football.
Drinking the Honolulu Blue Coppercraft, which I am. But
that looks tremendous.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's pretty good. But it's I'm just trying to look at this and say that they played a couple of common opponents here. You see what Cincinnati has done, and you look at the game on Sunday. Quarterback Joe Burrow's banged up. Or he's been hit around. Not banged up because of what happened to his throat, although what happened to his throat could impact the game on Sunday if he's not able to bark out the signals like he used to. And if he's not, someone else is going to have to make the call for coverages on blitz packages and all that. That could play an impact on the game. But because he has been hit a lot already, and he's missed some a couple plays here and there already on the season, they're a little bit vulnerable. Now they've got a really nice rookie receiver to look at. They've got a better receiving core certainly the Lions have. And on paper, their offense versus the Lions defense, it should be a no-brainer that they would win. That's what I thought last week. It was a no-brainer. Minnesota's going to destroy the Lions because of Jefferson and Thielen and the running back situation. And yet, that wasn't the situation. The Lions defense played as well as they played all season on Sunday. I don't know if that's a mirage or not. I don't know if that's just they made adjustments and they're going to give guys a chance and those guys show that they can play in this league. But I would have more confidence in the offense that the Vikings were going to throw at with their pair of receivers and a quarterback who has a history and tradition of owning the Lions, like Kirk Cousins has, than looking at Joe Burrow, who might come into this a little bit shaky, and his best option is a rookie wide receiver who is phenomenal, but he is a rookie, and seeing what shakes out there. I like the opportunity the Lions have. I think offensively they can exploit some things with Cincinnati, what they do on defense. I think the fact that Dan Campbell is assertive in wanting to establish the running game and keep it going, and saying, like he said on Monday, hey, we need to run the ball more. Amen. Yes, you need to run the ball more. This just in. The Lions wide receiver room isn't all that impressive right now. So how do you combat that? You run the ball because you run the ball effectively this season so far. Keep doing it. Run it in non-obvious situations. Run it in an obvious passing situation. I would like to see more of that. I think things are coming. They're pissed off about what happened. And the coach wore his heart on his sleeve at the press conference. The team likes the coach a lot. The coach likes the team a lot. I think this is the week they can put it together and beat the Bengals. I don't think it's going to be a drubbing of Cincinnati by any means, but I think this is the week that they get over the hump, that they get the lead late in the game, and they're able to hold on to it. Maybe it's because Aaron Glenn decides he's not going to run or rush 3 at the end of the game when Cincinnati's trying desperately to get yards into field goal range.
It'd be nice. Lions are 0-5. Everybody's waiting for the first one of the season. Gator feels good about the opportunity this weekend.
And I don't think there are many that are going to feel good about this year.
Take a look at that schedule. Yeah. There's not going to be a lot of Fridays where I suspect you're going to be saying that.
But this is one.
This is one of those Fridays. The Lions fans feel what you're saying. They're 0-5. And I know it's kind of weird to say, but I'm actually happy with how this season's gone. I want to give people that. Coming up next, we'll talk about this matchup and a Freaky Friday question with the Lions and the Bengals that you posed pre-show. I think that might be fun to engage and put that in the mix. We'll do it coming up next. It's 97.1.
Hi,
Hi, this is Bill.
And Tim.
Lease coming due?
Unsure of what to do next?
We can help. During Jeep Adventure Days, tag one of the 500 new vehicles being built right now. Or build your own custom vehicle to take delivery in as little as 3 weeks. This month, you will get an extra $1,000 dealer discount when you mention 97.1 the ticket.
Whether you live in West Bloomfield, Birmingham, Southgate, or Warren, you're just a short drive away from the best car buying experience ever. And remember, all roads and all towns lead to Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at 11.5 in Telegraph.
Hey Michigan, it's Charlie Batch with great news. Now you can bet on all your favorite sports with the Play Gun Lake Online Sportsbook. Live in-game, play-by-play betting. Let you bet while you watch. Bet the money line as it changes during the game. Plus, bet on individual player performances as they happen. New customers, sign up right now and get your first bet risk-free up to $750. PlayGunLake.com and use my promo code TOUCHDOWN. PlayGunLake.com has all the details.
You must be 21 and in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117.
Well, according to research, 82% of people remember radio ads. That means that 82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. If you're hiring, 82% of you will recall that ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And 82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. 82% of you will keep in mind that ZipRecruiter's technology finds qualified people for your job and actively invites them to apply.
Is that you? Who are you talking to?
82% of you will also know that I live with my mom. But the most important thing to note is that ZipRecruiter works. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Will you be part of the 82% who remember where you can try ZipRecruiter for free? It's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Again, that exclusive link is ZipRecruiter.com/free. How much? Free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, I'm Matt Derry, host of the Locked On Lions podcast, a daily podcast covering your favorite football team. Our show really takes you inside what is going on in Allen Park. We get right to the topics of the day with opinions, timely guests, audio from the players and coaches that stands out, and much more. You want to know what's going on with the Detroit Lions on your way to work or on your drive home? It's interactive. We have the pulse of you, the fans, and we have some fun too. Listen to the Locked On Lions podcast every day on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Switching season is back at WOW. Switch to super fast internet 100 with no contracts for just $19.99 a month and get the first month free. Sign up at Huawei.com today. Wow. Limited to new customers with auto pay and paperless billing. Offer subject to change. Restrictions and terms apply.
What are you waiting for? It only takes an hour for you to have your child's heart screened. Get your kid's heart checked at the Ernst Cardiovascular Center at Beaumont Hospital in Royal Oak. Details at 971theticket.com.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by National Benefit Plans. Red Wings captain Dylan Larkin set to meet with the NHL today about his roughing call against Tampa Bay last night. He was ejected for retaliating against Matthew Joseph with a punch to the face. And if you ask head coach Jeff Blashill, he doesn't think any further action should be taken.
I mean, a punch with a glove on, I don't know, maybe I'm old school. I don't think I am. I mean, there's lots of punches without gloves on. I think it's way different if a guy hits a guy with his glove off than with his glove on. I mean, so to me, it's not even, I'd be surprised, but I'm not the NHL.
It'll be a short practice today for the Wings as they try to recover with a game tomorrow night against the Canucks at LCA. We're hoping to see the Lions get healthier as their next game approaches, but not sure that's happening. Taylor Decker still working on using his club hand during drills and may need to sit one more game out. And running back Jamal Williams missing time in Allen Park because of a hip issue. Also, Corey Ballantyne, their corner, going to the injured reserve. He's the 14th player this season to do so for the Lions. The Pistons will play at home this evening as their final exhibition is set against the 76ers. A tip-off just after 7 o'clock right here on 97.1 The Ticket. Their regular season begins on Wednesday at home. And in Major League Baseball, Boston will take on Houston in the first game of the ALCS for who gets to punch their ticket into the World Series. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Karsh and Anderson on 97.1 The Ticket.
Jim Costa in for Doug Karsh today.
Gator, you just said you feel pretty good about the Lions this week. Not going to be every Friday you tell people you think they can win.
Right.
You also told us, hey, if you were looking at Cincinnati and the Lions and where they're at in their rebuilds and what they have on the docket, so to speak, you asked the question, who would you rather be right now? Are you going to say the Lions?
I'm not going to say the Lions, but I can make a case for it. I give the reason I would say Cincinnati over the Lions is because I believe in Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow. I think he's going to be one of the really, really top 10 quarterback in the next couple of years. And that's going to make up for a lot of other deficiencies you have. They've got the receiver, Jamar Chase, who's outstanding. But where I like the Lions is if I were to build a football team, I would start in the trenches. I would build both the offensive and defensive lines. And I think the Lions have made a commitment to doing that over the last couple of years. And even before this crew got here, they made that commitment when they drafted Ragnow and Decker and Jonah Jackson, and real good start. And then this group comes in and they go ahead and draft Penei Sewell. Look, on the defensive side, they used, second and third round picks on taking defensive linemen to go in there. They traded for Brockers. They signed Acquire to an extension. I like building from the inside out. The Lions have a longer ways to go because they still need to figure out who the quarterback is going to be, and they need receivers. They need a number one receiver, and in my mind, they need a number two receiver. I like Quintez Cephas, but I'm not buying that he's a number two receiver in the NFL just yet, and I'm certainly not buying anybody else that's on the team right now as a number two. Defensively, the Lions, it doesn't look good, but what they did on Sunday was a step in the right direction. I don't know how to evaluate what we're going to see because the secondary is just in shambles. Like Tracy Walker, and he's having a really good season this year at safety, but the corners, I don't know. Awarie at times flashes, but not enough consistently. Okuda, it's year 2. We're not going to see him. They got work to do there. And linebacker-wise, I certainly like Barnes, but he's not even starting. They went with Germ. Jalen Reeves-Maybin is getting the start ahead of him. But there are things I like about what the Lions are doing with this rebuild, but it's mostly in the trenches. But the big question mark is who's going to lead this team to get them to the level that they need to be. And it may be Jared Goff. I doubt it.
Right.
But it might be, but I doubt it. And they're going to have to find that quarterback, and they can do it this year in the draft. But if you watch college football, nobody's really separated themselves as making you think that's a can't-miss prospect.
No, I think the way you put it is right. Lions are building inside out. The Bengals are building outside in, but the trump card is probably they have Joe Burrow, you have Jared Goff. It's a Freaky Friday kind of question. Who would you rather be? How are these rebuilds going? Because these are two teams that are trying to get themselves up off the map. 248-539-9797. Lions and Bengals this weekend at Ford Field. They're 0-5. And I think some people are feeling frustrated with this football team, to say the least, right? You talk about trying to get a win for Dan Campbell at some point. I'm actually pretty happy with how the season's gone so far. I mean, the defense is getting a little better. You got tank commander Jared Goff steering the offense, meaning they're going to lose a bunch of football games, which we knew going in. This was a deal where you wanted a good draft pick. You wanted something at the top of the draft to make. Now, you wish you knew who your quarterback was going to be for sure. But I like that the defense is getting a little better. They're fighting for the coach. The coach cares. He's aggressive. And they're losing because they don't have a QB. I mean, to me, this was the dream situation. In fact, I think I did a show with you this summer, and I said my dream scenario is the defense gets a little better, but Jared Goff sandbags him because he's no good, and it ushers in a proper rebuild. I mean, is that not the team we've seen through 5 games?
It kind of is, except that the 2 games they should have won, it's a defensive letdown at the end of both of those games that allowed them to lose.
Yeah, but the Minnesota game, they were only in it because of the defense.
I'm not going to disagree with that. The defense did a great job up until they needed to make one more play, and they didn't make the one more play. And you could say it's because it was the prevent defense that Aaron Glenn put out there, or you can believe what the Lions, what they were basically saying is it wasn't a defense, it's that a player missed his assignment. And that's I kind of lean towards both because I don't like rushing 3 in that situation at the end on that last play because you needed to get pressure. There was still time. They didn't have any timeouts left. You had an opportunity there, just like I didn't like it at the end of the Ravens game. I didn't have as big of a problem at the end of the Ravens game because that was a more dire situation for Baltimore, and I understood it more. But in both cases, there was failure by the personnel to execute the play.
But we knew they were going into the season with an arm tied behind their back. Like, look at the personnel that they have to work with. I agree. I wanted them to send more pressure against Baltimore, more pressure at the end against Minnesota. Now, the difference with those 2 games, Baltimore, they were far too conservative at the end offensively, right? With the, hey, we'll settle for a field goal, we'll burn timeouts, hope the bad thing doesn't happen with Justin Tucker as the kicker, ... Against Minnesota, they were aggressive. They went for it. They scored. Campbell has been mostly aggressive this season, which I like.
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody does. I like that he says, hey, for a long time, these decisions have been made conservatively in coaching circles. The numbers, whether he's using them or not, support more of these aggressive decisions. So I like that he's making the right calls, and if they lose, they lose. If they lose because the defense can't cover anybody, so be it. But they're not actually losing because the defense is awful. They've only scored 17 points in these last 4 games. So they're losing more so because the offense is sputtering because Jared Goff can't get him going, right?
Well, is it he can't get him going or he doesn't have the receivers to get things going? And that your one option you do have that's a plus option is T.J. Hawkinson. And every team that's going to game plan against the Lions is going to try to stop T.J. Hawkinson. You take him away, what are your options?
Yeah, but this is
Daryl Hodge, Trinity Benson, Khalif Raymond. These are throwing on the backfield to one of the running backs, that's option number 2 that they're going to try to take away. So
no more Quintez Cephas even now. So I get your point, but Goff was this guy in LA too, where he was a turnover machine, right? The last couple of years, his yards per attempt went down and his turnovers went up. That's troubling.
The fumbling is ridiculous.
And that's been a big problem this season, right? For Jared Goff. He leads the NFL in fumbles.
He's got 6 fumbles and he's lost 4. That's a problem.
So, but that's perfect to me because your defense is getting better. Goff's going to be Goff, and it'll usher in a new quarterback. They'll lose a bunch of football games. Like, this is what I wanted to happen this season. Now, you ride the emotional roller coaster as a Lions fan where you have these field goals beat you at the end, and maybe you don't have a great feeling immediately following the game. But honest question for Lions fans, as you check in 5 games in, are you not happy with what you've seen?
Well, if you want the Lions to have a good draft pick, you're ecstatic because 0-5, you can't get any worse than that. That's what you want. But so you like the way the season's going. Record-wise, of course, that's stands on its own. 0-5, high pick, if not the number 1 pick, right? But do you like the way Dan Campbell is coaching this team, his decisions? Do you like the offensive line?
Well,
do you like?
This is what I'm going to say to Jim because you were talking about it. You like his aggressiveness. I love it this year. I don't know if I'm going to love it next year or the year after when I expect this team to be competing.
Well, but I will because they'll hopefully have a better QB that'll finish some of these 4th downs. Most of their 4th down decisions have been passes, and most of them haven't been conversions. If they have a quality NFL quarterback, I want that guy with the ball in his hand on an extra down, aggressive late in the game.
I mean, I push back at people which would say something like what you just said because Jared Goff is a quality NFL quarterback. He's not a top 10 quarterback.
I don't know if he's top 20 or 25.
Well, he sure as hell was when he helped take the Rams to the Super Bowl. Now, they had a team around him. If you put a team around him, can he do that here?
I think they realized once they paid him, you can't put enough around Jared Goff. He needs too much.
Well, for me, I think it's obvious that Jared Goff is not the guy. And
that's a win too, though. Is that not a win?
Yeah, I already knew that coming in, though. This is pretty